Hello, everybody. Happy Easter to each and every one of you. Father Sean here, wishing you a happy Easter. The Lord has come back from the dead, and now He's got this glory shining through Him. He has conquered all sin, all death, and all fear. He has given us hope. And in all honesty, it's nice to have some good, clear, strong hope this Easter. It really felt like Easter. It was just really nice. After a year that was just very different. Not to say it lacked hope, it was just sometimes a little hard to maintain hope. There's a lot of fears in the world that were kind of crunching in on us. Everyone's kind of got different situations, but there are some people who feared death, just to put it bluntly. There were some people who feared maybe sickness just in general without fearing death. There might have been other people who were fearing that loved ones would die. These are kind of some big fears that people have. Also, there's some of the more existential fears that we can face. We can fear the loss of a reputation. We can fear the loss of kind of our dignity, of our personhood, our self-respect. We can fear maybe just being uncomfortable, being awkward, offending someone, whatever it is. We have these fears that limit us, that take us away from what we could do otherwise. They take us away from the freedom to do the good. And if they're taking away from our freedom to do the good, then they are our oppressors. Then they are enslaving us, these fears. And this is the gospel good news, that Jesus rose from the dead, defeating all these fears. It is a lot like a child, a dad, and a monster in the closet. Now, it doesn't matter how many times the dad tells his son that there's not a monster in the closet, the child is going to say, but Dad, no, you don't understand. Like, there is, and I ain't going to sleep. You can't make me. I can't even if I tried. Because when the lights go out and it's really dark, I know there's that risk, there's that danger, that there's this monster lurking right around. I can't quite see him, but I know he's there. And the dad's like, well, if telling you doesn't work, what am I going to do? He's asking himself like, oh my gosh, like I'm trying to be a good dad here, but I don't know how. And so that dad, as a good dad, he would go into that closet. He'd say, hey, look, son, this is me here in your closet where this monster lives. And he's putting his hand in all the corners of the closet. He's looking around everywhere. And he says, son, look at me here. I have looked in every little spot here, and there's no monster. Finally, the son will be like, well, maybe you're right. There's nothing else that I can say. And that fear is quelled because the dad went inside of that fear and he proved there was nothing to fear. And this is exactly what Jesus did. If we fear death, if we fear offending people, if we fear pain and suffering, if we fear the loss of our friends, the loss of our dignity, Jesus went into each one of those fears that may be real, and he said, hey, look, here I am in the midst of it. I am inside of what you fear most. But look at this. I have trusted in God the Father, and He has been faithful to His promise. I may have died, but I've come back from the dead because I was not abandoned. There is nothing that demands perpetual fear here. We can be free with the recognition that some of these things might come to us, but they're not going to keep us down forever. There is the promise of the resurrection, and Jesus shows us from within that God's promises are stronger than all fear, that there is always life. There's always the hope of life. There is a legitimate fear that Jesus warns about. He warns us about a certain kind of fear. He says, do not fear what can harm the body but cannot harm the soul. Fear rather what can destroy the body and the soul in hell. It's just like, okay, thanks for the heads up, Jesus. And that's exactly kind of this, the hell would be the squashing of our hope. What we hope for through all of this is that we are united with Jesus and we come to share in the resurrection. And if we're not maintaining what is required for not establishing that hope, but living in that hope, well, then there's cause to fear. But that's all we got to do. We just got to come to Jesus. We got to cling to Him, hold fast to Him, pray, hope, and don't worry. So my brothers and sisters, live free in the resurrection. Let fear not hold you down. Be bold, knowing that Jesus was bold first. And as Jesus was bold first, the Father was faithful to him, just as he will be faithful to you. And so, my brothers and sisters, may God bless you and a happy, joyful, peaceful Easter. God bless.